Hey guys, it's me, Butterfly Spirit 314. So guys, I just got finished with my knee workout. I haven't done the knee workout in a while here. Maybe it's been like a week. I'm not sure how long it's been since I've done it. Maybe like a week. I've had a cold, so I haven't really been working out too much. I've been trying to let my body kind of recuperate and everything like that and things. You know, when you're sick, you have to let your body just kind of conserve its resources and stuff. So I think it's like the weather or something like that. Something or another. But anyway, I want to talk about my knee workout today. So for starters, I did a 10-minute knee workout. And the knee workout, the reason I've been working on my knees is because I need to work on my knee strength because I have weak knees. And I found out in my pole dancing class that in order for me to climb the pole, a lot of people have this misconception that you have to have your upper body strength to climb the pole. But in truth, what you're going to be using is your legs. Specifically, you're going to be using, or I will be using, my knee strength as well as my shin strength in order to be able to get up the pole, and my legs, okay? So that's what I'm going to be using. And so I'm strengthening my knees in order to get up the pole. And I knew I had to work on my knees because one of my teachers said to basically I have to squeeze the pole between my knees, and I have to squeeze. And when I tried to do it in class, I had a hard time. And so I've been working on my knee strength. I've done about, let's say this would be this would be probably my fourth time doing the knee workout. Now, normally in the exercise, they say, like on the YouTube video, to do it 3 times a week. I really haven't been doing that. I've kind of been doing it kind of when I think about it and stuff. And one thing that I am glad about is that it feels like it's getting a little bit easier to do the knee workouts and stuff. I do get pretty well warmed up when I do the knee strengthening exercises. So first we do like the stretches first to kind of get the knees kind of stretched out first. And then we go into like the strengthening part. So the stretches first, then the strengthening is what comes next. And I think when I think about the stretching part, I think that for me, the knee stretches to me, I think that sometimes I go a little like, I think I kind of push my body a little bit more than I really need to. But I think at this point I can because this is my fourth time doing it. And so I think the more I let my body kind of strengthen, like kind of force it to stretch a little bit, the better. Also because, like I said, I had a cold, so I was doing a lot of sleeping and everything like that. And I went through a period of a couple of days where I had aches, like I had body aches and stuff. So that means that my body really tightened up. And so when I'm like stretching my knees and stuff in these exercises, this is kind of getting me to kind of let my body release that tension from when I was sick and stuff, or when I was aching and stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do, is get my body kind of back and things. And my body is pretty much back. I just have, I still have like some congestion in my nose pretty much, which I'm trying to get rid of and things, but my body is back. It feels more normal and things like that rather than it being achy and everything. So I'm glad it's coming to an end and stuff, which is great and things. So I did get pretty warmed up, which was great. And I'm starting to kind of notice that my body is getting more used to these movements. And when it comes to like working on a specific part of your body, when you work out, what you tell your body is you tell your body, hey, this is important, okay? That's more of what you tell your body. Hey, you know, let's keep this part of the body strong because this is what's being used. And that's what I tell my body. When I did I do a ballet workout, which I was going to do tonight, but I'm going to wait till tomorrow. And when I do like the ballet workout, I noticed that my plank got better. And that was evidence from when I was in my pole class last time, and my teacher was like, wow, you're holding that plank like it's nothing. And I really was. It's like I could do it all day and stuff because I got used to doing it in the ballerina workout. So it was just kind of like, okay, cool. You know, my body was like, all right, let's do this, you know. So I think my body more so remembers, like after I do a workout so many times, my body remembers and it's like, oh, okay, this is important. This is what we got to keep strong. Also, I know my strength is definitely getting better because on Thanksgiving, I went to a family gathering, and I was, when I was there, one of my family members actually had a baby. And like my sister-in-law, she was like, oh, this baby's so heavy. She was holding this baby and stuff. And the baby was so heavy. And she was like, oh my gosh, this baby's so heavy. It's like a, you know, like super heavy. And so I was like, oh, okay. Well, let me hold the baby. So I go to hold the baby. And I pick up the baby, and I don't know, I just hold the baby next to me, and I'm like, okay, little baby, you know, I'm just holding little baby and stuff. And I'm holding the baby, and to me, the baby is light. And I'm just like, this baby isn't heavy, it's light. And I'm talking to little baby, like, you little lightweight little baby, you know, in my arms and stuff. And the baby's just chilling, you know, I'm holding him and everything. And I'm over here thinking this whole time the baby's like 10 pounds, right? That's what I'm over here thinking. Baby's 10 pounds, like, to me and stuff, because I have upper arm strength because in pole dancing, I've been I've been like holding my body weight and stuff. And like, I've had exercises that like are kind of helping me to like get used to holding myself up and everything and stuff. And so, you know, when I'm holding this baby, I'm thinking, oh, the baby's like 10 pounds, right? That's what I thought. Well, long story short, guess what happened? I found out that when I was leaving, and my brother and my sister-in-law, I was leaving with them, and I was talking to some family, and they were like, oh, you know, and I'm thinking, you know, talking about the baby or whatever, they just adopted the baby, and they're like, oh, well, they're like, oh, well, you know, the baby, you know, the baby's like 25 pounds. And I'm like, what? The baby's 25 pounds? Really? And like, really? Because I'm thinking the baby's 10 pounds, but when I'm holding the baby, to me, the baby just is not that heavy to me. And I was holding the baby for a good, I don't know, about 5 minutes or about 5-10 minutes. I don't know. I was holding the baby like, you know, like it wasn't even, it's like I can hold that baby the whole time and I wasn't even stressing about it. My sister-in-law is like, oh my gosh, this baby's so heavy. And I know her pain too, because I know what it's like to hold a baby and for a baby to be like, I know what it's like for a baby to be healthy, because like, I remember in the past when like I'd hold people's babies and stuff when I'm at like Thanksgiving or holiday events or something, and I'm holding a baby will be so heavy, like the baby could be like 8 pounds or 10 pounds, and I'd be like, oh my god, this baby is so heavy, you know. And then that was like years ago. Now I had no idea I was holding this 25-pound baby, and it was like, hell, you know. I'm like, the baby could have been a bag of sugar or something, and you know, I'm just holding the baby like, oh, okay. And I'm always telling little baby, I'm a little lightweight little baby, you know. And the baby's just like, chilling like, okay. And I'm just like, I'm chilling because, and I guess that's a sign that my upper arm strength is really good, because I guess it's just because I have to, like I said, I have to hold myself up in pole dancing. My actual weight, I have to hold myself and hold my body weight. And so, like, holding a little baby, I guess it wasn't nothing for me. Damn, Wow. Wow. I'm just like, wow. Damn. Like, I'm just seriously blown away. But I do notice my quads are getting stronger, and I'm glad to know what my quads are now than what I was like. And my quads are actually getting stronger. And instead of like, my quads are getting stronger so that instead of like my lower back, which I usually let that help me to lift, which I'm not supposed to, but because of a previous injury that I had in a car accident, like my lower back does a lot of like the lifting and stuff like that for me, which is not supposed to, but that's because of the accident years ago. But I noticed that my quads are starting to build the strength to actually hold me, like to actually help me. And like one of the exercises, it's like strengthening, and which is helping my quads to get more used to holding that weight. And it's amazing to see my quads like expand and contract and stuff, and see them get stronger and stuff. It's just like so amazing to see what my body can do. And building strength, it takes time. And when I was doing the knee workout, I will say this. When I was doing the knee workout, I will say something I felt was that during the knee workout, I really felt that like I had this thought in my head, like, every time I do this, I am, slowly building strength. And that is so important, to build strength slowly, to be able to do things. Because, it's not about being able to rush and do something. It's about slowly building strength, one day at a time, building strength and stuff, or maybe every few days, and slowly building that strength. And then over the long term, the body is going to remember. And I remember when I was growing up, I remember that like my mom would say like, she said, well, your body will remember and stuff and things and stuff. And I think what she was talking about is that like how important it is to keep your body healthy and stuff, because there are a lot of people who abuse their bodies. They drink, smoke, and everything. And a lot of people don't really treat their body with respect. And so for people who abuse their bodies, like, you get some people who start to look really old really fast because they don't take care of their body, and they don't do that. Now, I can tell you, I can understand for people, like, working out can be hard for people. Like, some people are not in neighborhoods where they can safely go walking, or they're not in neighborhoods where they can get access to a gym or something like that, And so it can be tough. So I think like workouts like on YouTube are especially helpful and things. And I think also like there are some local libraries in my area where they do like things like chair yoga and step aerobics and different things. And those things are super important. And I recommend for anybody to definitely get out there and, exercise. Now, it's almost December, but I really recommend for people to really understand and to know. I recommend for people to do what they can. Don't force yourself to do something that you're not ready for yet, okay? Do things one step at a time. But I can definitely tell you that my knees and my quads are getting better. And they definitely are. So I want to continue to work on them, as well as like the rest of my body. I've not like lifted not any like upper arm strength or anything, but I still am maintaining because I was able to hold that baby with no problem. So I guess my body must remember. Like when it came to me holding the baby and stuff, my muscles and my biceps, they automatically engaged themselves and were ready. And I think that's a really cool thing, to have strength and stuff. And I recommend for anybody to have strength, because we need strength to be able to do stuff. Hell, even lift stuff, when you're around the house, there are things that we need to lift and things like that too, and be able to carry, and like this, there is a safe way to, lift things. So that's always important. And I know there's videos on YouTube about how to like lift things correctly and things like that too. So that is important as well. But I definitely can tell my knees are getting better, and stronger. My quads are getting stronger. My legs, I'm sure, are getting stronger and things. And I think it won't be long before I'll be able to climb up the pole using like my legs and stuff. Because the arms don't really do as much. I mean, the lats do a little bit, but other than that, they don't really do much of anything. And I just can't wait to see. I have not been in pole class in a long time, so I cannot wait to see what happens. Once I get back to it, I'm hoping to get back to it really soon. But soon I'll get there, whenever I get back to it, which will be, like I said, probably sometime in December. I'm going to get back to it. I know for sure I'll be there in January, but I really want to make sure that I get back into it so I can keep training my body, because I want to grow as a dancer, whether I'm in pole, whether I'm in belly dance, whether I am in chair dance, whether I'm in floor work, regardless of the type of dance I'm doing. I want to make sure I grow in it, so that I can progress, because I love dance and it's just a part of what I like to do. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Bye bye.